All right, we just start the recording and it's 3 minutes past, so I think we can start the meeting today. Hi everyone, I'm Wendy, and I will be the host for the Kubernetes version 1.34 release team meeting. Today is 28th of July, and we are in the week 11 of the release cycle. Please be aware that this is the Kubernetes community meeting, which fall under Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which can be summarized to be excellent to each other. Thanks, everyone. This meeting is recorded and will be publicly posted to YouTube, so please be mindful what you say will be recorded. We will start with the open discussion first. I couldn't see any topic has been raised in the open discussion. Is there anything to discuss before we get into the team update? All right, we can move into the team update now. For the enhancement, Ryan, can you share update for enhancement?
Yeah. Hey everyone. So last week we had our enhancements freeze party, code freeze party, and we currently have 48 caps which are tracked for code freeze, and there are 8 caps which have raised for an exception, and we are pretty much green this time. So yeah, that's pretty much all from enhancements.
Oh, I have a questions.
Yeah.
All right, wait a minute. Release meeting not showing the stream is the release team lead.
Yes, the handbook page is open.
Oh, okay. The handbook is open. I should show the release team meeting. Just wait me a minute. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Wait me. So let me swap the stream. Okay. Yep. All right. Can you see the agenda for the release team meeting now?
Yeah.
Yep.
All
I
right.
can see it.
That's awesome. Thanks for letting me know. All right. I have a question for the enhancement. Actually, we have 9 exception. It's not a exception, right?
Uh, okay. On the board, I can see 8, but I think probably one is missing. For whatever caps there are exceptions, we are adding like updating the status like exception pending. So I'll probably go through all the list and then make sure the 9th cap is on the board.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
actually, if I have a look into one of the red open in SIG release now, actually we have 9 exception. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and also help me to push our release lead form to provide to run the exception as well, because it's have a few exception. It's only asked for 3 days addition. I'm a little bit erased that like whether we can be able to provide exception for people or it's a little bit late for them. So if you see any exception don't have any mark like this, like just ask from about what's his decision.
Okay.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah, and the
Yep.
matrices are not updated. I will update in a bit. So it will be updated by the US time zone meeting.
Yeah. All right. That's awesome. No worry. You just update it later. Before the UST meeting is still on good for me from my side. Yep. All right. Are there any question for the enhancement team? Oh, if it not, we can move into the release signal. Raji?
Yeah. Hello, Wendy. So the updates for release signal are last week we had 2 failing dashboards, one of which was cause master serial dashboard, and the issue was reported by another member and it got resolved. whereas there are a couple of dashboards related to kind master alpha and kind master beta, which are still failing. We have an open issue for that. So as we have a failing job in the master informing, we have given the current status as red for now. And the bug triage board, yeah, based on the exceptions and the conversations and securities, I'll go through the list of PRs and issues and appropriately update the milestone looking at the exceptions. And then there is one release blocking issue that is the same failing kind job related issues in the release blocking label. And we have four non-test flake issues which are open, and there are 10 PRs which are in open state with this 1.34 milestone. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Yep, all right. Do we have any question for release signal team? Okay, if we don't have any question for release signal, I will move into docs team. Uvashi?
Yeah.
Can you update? Yep.
Yeah, I can change name here. So our status is green. Weekly branching PR will be created soon by tomorrow or Wednesday, and reminder have been sent to the Cape's owner regarding the deadline. And also the second reminder will be sent soon this week via Slack channel. And for the V1.34 beta version, release note PR will be created soon, has been created and under review. So I'm waiting for my team approval on the PR, and after that we will be creating the final draft release note, which will be done by the end of this week, by this week.
Yep, that's awesome. I think for the release note draft for beta 0, actually I already have a look into that and it's currently on good for me. But I think the do we have any like the internal of the docs team reviews already and is on good for everyone? Because I think like VOM want to have the team, the release doc team review internally and feedback first before he can provide feedback and approve.
So I didn't get your question. So are you asking about that before providing the PR, the release note PR should be approved internally, then go for the approval?
No,
Uh,
I already have a look into the release note draft for the beta 0 first, and it's kind of like on good from my side. But I just want to wait for the other member of the docs team to also have a look and like sharing and like any feedback from the docs team first. If you guys have any input on that, it will be on good, and after the release docs team or the member on good with the PR, I think like we can roll set to the approval very soon. So I just want to ask like in the internal docs team, are there any other feedback or like everyone is like on good with the release note draft already?
yeah, sure. I can discuss this internally with my team to have a team approval first, our doc team approval first, and then ask for, yeah, sure. I can have this update for my team today.
Yeah, that sounds good because I still wait for like a few common ROM release note to see or release docs to see like whether internally anyone's have any feedback so far, and if it's everything like on good internal in the release doc team, like I think we can have to approve it very soon. So, yep.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Thank Uvashi. Do we have any other question for the release note team? If it not, I will move into the com team now. Do we have any shadow from com team today? All right. If we don't have any shadow, I can have to update for the status of com team. So currently status is yellow. For the feature log, we are tracking 19 opt-in feature log entry associated with the deferred or like removed from milestone cap. The docs the com team already reached out to the author to close it. For the release highlights, currently we have the discussion open for the release highlight, and the deadline is tomorrow, which is in Tuesday of like 29th of July. And we have highlights from 6 CLI, storage, apps, authentications. The following 6 answer with no highlights is architecture, testing, infra team, multi-cluster, cluster lifecycle, docs, and contributor experience. Oh, I thought SIG releases also don't have any highlights. The following SIG have kept track in version 1.34, but haven't posted the highlights in API machinery, instrumental, network, node, scheduling, Windows. So chess and checklist were tasked in outreach red yesterday. I think we're still waiting for the input for the release highlight from DSIG. For the mix cycle log, we intend to publish today in Monday of 28th of July. Yeah. PR to publish need to have like yeah, look good to me and approve label. I think we already published a draft for it. So I think we already published draft. It's already this PR in March. Oh, we still open. Okay. Yeah, it needs to have look good to me and approve label. All right. That's good. Anyone have any question for the comms team? All right. If it's good, I will move into the release range management. So release range management will based on the status of the release signal and nothing major to share unless there is a cut. So we will have upcoming cuts in next week. As I remember. For the EA, I haven't seen any update from EA. Let me reviews from previous week. So yeah, for the last week, the current first retro following meeting, yeah, I think we already have the retro last week. If anyone haven't joined the retro in the mid cycle, we will have another retro in the end of this release cycle, so you guys like can spend time to join the retro in the end of the release cycle. If all shadow want to know how we discuss in the retro, it's kind of like informative and it's good to know as well. And for the mixed cycle shadow surveys have been closed and 100% viewing. Yeah, it's really amazing for 100% viewing. All right. Do anyone have any question for EA? Okay. If we don't have any question, I will move into release lead. I don't think from in the discussion today.
I'm here, Wendy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
yeah.
Sherry.
No worries, no worries. Hey, everyone. So, first to begin with the updates, we received 9 exception requests during the code freeze plus the test freeze. Some of them are approved, other of them are undergoing discussion. One of them doesn't seem to be eligible for an enhancement freeze exception, code freeze exception request because they don't have any pending code or test PRs to be merged, just kept updates and docs PR. So that's the status of the exception requests. Also, there are 2 deadlines tomorrow. Docs PR ready for review and the release highlights deadline, which already have been mentioned by Docs team. Plus, we have the RC0 release cut next week. RC0 is a major release milestone because when RC0 is cut simultaneously or just after that, the 1.34 release informing and blocking dashboards are set up by release branch management. So it's just a heads up to release signal team to coordinate with release branch management to help set up those dashboards. There are some problems, like historical problems while setting up those dashboards because the scripts are slightly outdated. So just take care of that as well. Also, we have the docs freeze next week, which is another major milestone. Plus, I believe we also have the time that we'll start the final draft of release notes next week. Apart from that, it's the feature blogs ready for review deadline next week as well. So quite a few deadlines next week. So just a heads up to everyone and to all the related sub teams on that. And yeah, that's the major update from my side. And I think Chenghao asked the question on do we have retro in the APAC time? So no, we don't have retro in the APAC time. Primary reason for that is because a lot of stakeholders, for example, SIG release leads and release managers, they are not based in APAC time zone. So in the release retro, it's not just the release team, but there are other stakeholders as well. And we want this discussion to be as synchronous as possible. So we host it in a time zone that is kind of suitable to everyone because SIG release leads, for example, they can't attend APAC time zone retros because it won't really align with their time zone at all. So, keeping that in mind, the external dependencies, we decided not to have an APAC retro, but that doesn't mean that you cannot add the information that you want to convey. Just go to the retro doc, simply add your notes, and you can just tell your lead or anyone about the point that you want to discuss beforehand, and then they can present your point in the meeting. You can add it to the doc, and then they can elaborate further on that point. So that is the approach that we thought that is feasible for now. So that's why we don't have an apex retro right now. Are there any questions for me?
Yeah, but actually, based on the recording I watched in the retro of like the previous release, like when you mentioned about external stakeholder, like actually we don't have a lot of like external stakeholder to attend though. Majority of attendance is still from the release team. Like even though in SIG release, we also like, I mean, maybe it's only one version attend, but like I don't see a lot of like attendance from all the stakeholder. But I can understand what you're sharing.
Yes, there aren't. So SIG release leads, as you know, they are limited. So Jeremy attended the last retro. In this retro, we had Marco from Release Branch Management. So a lot of points that we want to discuss and we want to get the changes made on, we need these people. For example, there are a lot of changes that we want in release branch management or on the engineering side. So we asked Marco in that call if it would be possible to have these projects on an LFX mentorship so that someone can get paid and at the same time we can get this work done. So that's the importance of why we want to have this synchronously with the leads to help take decisions like these, whether we should go for an LFX mentorship or not. Yes, they are only like one person from maybe release branch management and one person from SIG release, the release leads. They would be on the call. So yeah, it's not a lot of people from the stakeholder side, but that is what we'll be doing right now because of just how distributed the team is, and having an APAC retro at the same time, the problem it poses is that we can have an APAC retro a meeting, but how many points would there be in this retro? For example, in this particular retro, the mid-cycle retro, there were no points from anyone in the APAC region that they added and they weren't able to attend because of the time zone concerns. So again, if we want to have an APAC retro, if there are significant people in the APAC region that have added points and want to discuss them, I am willing to host an APAC retro as well. So if there is any point that we want to discuss, then yes, we can go for an epic retro as well.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good for me. Thanks for the clarification.
No
Another
worries.
question I want to ask is about the exception request. Do you have any deadline in your mind that like when should be the last day you should run the request? Because I see a few requests like only ask for 3 days or like 5 days. But like if we not make the decision within 2 days, like when you run the request later, will it affect into the additional time they ask for coding
No, it does
development?
not. It does not. So when you submit an exception request, the idea behind that is, let's say you're asking for 5 days, so 2 days the weekend, and then 3 days for development. Your the Whether the release team approves or rejects that request does not change the flow of the work you are doing in the meantime. And I believe all the exception requests were created on time and the discussion was started on them. We are plus one on most of them, but some of them I have requested for additional feedback. So as soon as we get all the clarification and plus ones, those exception requests are approved. So that's the flow that basically takes. even if the exception request gets approved, let's say you ask for 3 days and it gets approved on the second day, that does not mean you get 3 more days from the time it has been accepted. It is the idea behind that is that at the time you apply for an exception request, you would be continuously making changes to meet that deadline that you asked for. So you think in the terms of it getting approved and then making the changes in the PR, getting the relevant reviews and so on. So that's the process.
Yep. But do you have any, I mean, from the release list perspective, do you have any deadline in your mind that you should run or like you should reject the request and send the announcement? Because like, I mean, it's on the weekend now, it's Monday. Like we still have a few of requests, still wait for the decisions.
So let me go to through the threads right now. We have 9. One of them I have given a +1, and I'm fine with this. It's an API validation. The one previous to that, I have added some concerns, and Dikshita replied a few hours ago about some things, which I'll just check. The one prior to that, I have given a +1 on that, and I'll just wait for a few hours to see if anyone else has to say anything on that. The one previous to that, that does not qualify for an exception request, that is not codes and test trees. The one prior to that, we are not granting an exception request because SIG apps said no. And the ones before that, we have already given approved those exception requests. So I think we are good here, Wendy. We have approved most of them and we have added feedback. So I think it's fine.
All right. If you have chance, like just send the announcement about the decision.
Yeah, my Google. So I was sending the emails through the Google Group SIG release, and my messages were getting deleted as soon as I send them. So I asked I asked Jeremy and Dems if they can take a look to um, add my email address to the unblock list, so I can send them messages. But so right now, how many are pending in numbers?
5.
One.
5.
So the ones that are most likely going to get approved is 1, 2, 3. So yeah, we are going to approve only 3 exception requests. 2 of them would most likely get rejected. One is because the gap said no, and the other one is because code freeze. That particular cap does not really qualify for an exception request. So all these 3 have received a soft signal that these would be approved. So I think the respective folks working on these caps should just continue their efforts as they are. And yeah, they have asked for 5 days, 6 days, 5 days, and the one other is for how many days? Yeah, 5 days. So the minimum we have for 5 days. So I think we have sufficient time here to push those exception requests out. So I think it's in a fine state right now.
Yeah. Another thing, like actually, I did receive your email when you sent.
Yeah, I saw your message, but first of all, I am on dark theme, so I didn't know it would look like this on the light theme. But I'll do a Control Shift V next time. Um, Surprisingly for me, it's not showing up. So for these particular ones, it showed up, but I sent another one. So I sent 2 messages initially,
Yeah.
and then I sent another message, which I believe is getting rate limited somehow. And that message, as soon as I send it, it gets deleted. So 2 of them went through, but the other ones didn't. So that is the problem that I have right now. Replied through private release team at the kubernetes.io to Google group as well. But those replies also don't seem to have landed in the Kubernetes SIG release Google group. So I will be pinging a few folks again today to see if I can be added to the whitelist. And 2 of the replies went through, but the other ones weren't going through. So that's the issue there.
All right. All right. Hopefully everything will be on good.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are there any question for the release so far, everyone?
Yeah, Wendy, this is Raji. So I have a question. So, when regards to the PRs and issues which are there in the bug triage board, like how would I decide on the milestone? So, based on the exceptions for the enhancements, like should I track down on the related PRs and see if they are accepted? I thought
Um,
we have we had an exceptions.yaml in the release folder. I thought the PR links would be updated there, but is it too early for things to get updated there?
Which PR link are you talking about?
I mean, the PRs which have the milestone is 1.34, we will
Mhm.
have to decide on whether they should stay on the bug triage board or not, right? Are
Right
they,
now, yeah, yeah.
I
Right
mean,
now, if
or
they go ahead.
yeah, should we be waiting for a few more couple of days for the enhancement exceptions to finalize and things to settle down after code freeze before, I mean, walking through the issues and PRs and bug triage board?
Yeah, so you basically mean to say when do we clear the milestones on the pending PR, right?
Right.
Yeah, so for the ones that are related to the caps that have been approved, they would be added. They have the milestone label until the deadline that they have been granted. So the additional time that they have been granted, those caps would need to be merged by then. If not, the milestone would be removed from those caps. The other portion might be regular bug fixes. For example, the HCD issue. There are quite a few PRs for that that were added to the milestone. So right now, only the things that you would see in the milestone are either stale items or PRs relating to caps that have exception requests approved or other critical bug fixes. So these would be the only three entities that would have milestone label on them. You need to only clear from the stale one and from the caps after if they weren't merged under the deadline. So I think it's fine for you all to wait. um, I think this week, I think this week is the max before all the exception requests have the deadline. After which you can start clearing the PRs that have stale PRs that still are in the milestone.
Okay, thank you. That answers my question.
Cool.
All right, that's awesome. Thanks for question, Raji. Does anyone else have any question for the release so far? All right, if we don't have any question, I'm gonna to stop the recording now. Okay, I'm gonna to stop the recording.